Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I am your host, Alex. Today is May 12th, 2025. We're looking at an ICLR conference paper, Learning Dynamics of LLM Finetuning, published just under 4 months ago. This paper studies how LLMs learn during fine-tuning, that's specialized training, including instruction tuning, or SFT, and preference tuning, like DPO. It takes a dynamical perspective, analyzing step-by-step changes in model predictions. This involves teacher forcing, a technique for sequential training, and the empirical neural tangent kernel, or ENTK, which measures input-output similarity to see how training examples influence others. Okay, so this first figure visualizes these learning dynamics with a simpler task, recognizing handwritten digits. It shows how training on one digit, say 4, affects predictions for others. The model's change in confidence for any output, its log probability prediction, depends on an output transformation, the empirical neural tangent kernel we discussed, and an error signal. So when the model learns 4 using stochastic gradient descent, or SGD, an optimization algorithm, it also gets slightly more confident about similar digits like 9. These effects accumulate over multiple training cycles, known as epochs. Alright, building on that understanding of learning dynamics, this next figure contrasts how different fine-tuning algorithms update predictions. Supervised fine-tuning simply boosts the log probability of the desired output, y+. But with off-policy direct preference optimization, where models learn from preferred y+ and rejected y responses, not necessarily from their current output, applying a strong negative signal to an unlikely y causes a squeezing effect. This actually reduces confidence in most other answers, even preferred ones, by concentrating probability. Other panels show on policy direct preference optimization variants, which aim to avoid this. So these next plots really drive home that squeezing effect. The first few panels show supervised fine-tuning, where the model's confidence, its log probability, for preferred responses, which the authors call y+, generally goes up over training epochs or cycles. Even rejected responses, she might see a slight bump. But then, the fourth panel shows what happens when direct preference optimization kicks in. Log probabilities for most responses, even y+, actually drop. The final heat map then visualizes this accumulated influence, clearly showing direct preference optimization's broad negative impact. Okay, so these plots really drive home that squeezing effect we were just talking about. The first few panels show supervised fine-tuning, where the model's confidence, its log probability for preferred responses, which the authors call y+, generally goes up over training epochs or cycles. Even rejected responses, y might see a slight bump. But then, the fourth panel shows what happens when direct preference optimization kicks in. Log probabilities for most responses, even y+, actually drop. The final heat map then visualizes this accumulated influence, clearly showing direct preference optimization's broad negative impact. Now, these next plots show how the authors try to address that squeezing. We're looking at log probability changes again, comparing a baseline direct preference optimization in blue with their extend method in yellow. During supervised fine-tuning, before epoch 4, both methods treat chosen responses similarly, but the extend method also boosts the probability of rejected responses. So when direct preference optimization starts, this extend approach shows a weaker squeezing effect. Other responses decay slower, and the argmax response, that's the model's single most confident output, doesn't climb as steeply. So while the extend method helps, these next plots, figure 17, really highlight the challenge it addresses by showing the learning dynamics when direct preference optimization follows supervised fine-tuning. We see different amounts of initial supervised fine-tuning across the rows. The main takeaway is that once direct preference optimization starts, around epoch 10 on these graphs, the log probability for most responses plummets. This is that squeezing effect, driven by a large negative gradient, a strong push to deprioritize rejected answers. Crucially, more initial supervised fine-tuning actually makes this confidence decay even faster. Alright, so to really understand why that confidence decay happens, and especially why more supervised fine-tuning can worsen it, figure 19 here gives us a great visual. It shows how these learning signals, or gradients, influence the model's predictions. Panel A shows a positive gradient simply boosting a preferred response. But panel D, that's the key one for us. It illustrates a large negative gradient applied to an already unlikely rejected response. This action, typical in off-policy direct preference optimization, dramatically pushes down most other probabilities, concentrating confidence on the single argmax output. That's the squeezing effect in action. So, to wrap things up, this deep dive into learning dynamics really sheds light on some counterintuitive behaviors during LLM fine-tuning. We've seen how direct preference optimization can lead to this squeezing effect, where model confidence in many responses, even good ones, actually drops. But understanding these dynamics also points to solutions like the extend method discussed, which can improve alignment. It's a great example of how looking at the how of learning, not just the what, can lead to better AI. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex and See you next time.